Homemade Play-Doh. This is a fun activity to do with kids, and some older kids could actually do this on your own. It's a no-cook recipe, so it's pretty easy to do, and it only has a few ingredients and a few steps and takes about 4 to 5 minutes to make. You need some flour, an oil, and I have canola oil here, but I also have baby oil, and you can use vegetable oil. I'm going to use baby oil today because of the nice scent it gives to it. You need some water, some salt, some food coloring, and cream of tartar. You need a few things from the kitchen, 2 bowls, one for your dry and one for your wet ingredients. You need some measuring spoons and cups, a whisk and a spoon, and you're all set to go. So in this bowl, we're going to start by putting our dry ingredients in. Amy, you going to help me? All right. So here we're going to add 1 cup of flour and a half a cup of salt and 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar. We're going to mix that all together. All right, and when that's nice and mixed, we're going to set this aside. All right, thank you. And in this bowl, we're going to put our wet ingredients together. I'm going to add a half a cup of water, and sometimes you need a little bit more flour or water, so when you get close to the end, you might have to adjust that just a little bit. So you have a half a cup of water, 1 tablespoon of oil, and then our food coloring of choice, and we're going to use blue, yep. You need 4 drops of food coloring added to this. And once that's all mixed up nice, we're going to start adding our dry ingredients to our wet ingredients. So it's probably easiest to scoop it out with one of your measuring cups and just kind of sprinkle it in. Ooh, we got a nice color going here. And after a little while, it's going to get kind of hard to stir with that whisk. So then we're going to want to get in there with our hands. And this is where the kids really like it. Because what kid doesn't like to get all messy? Okay, I'm going to add the last of the flour. And then we'll get that whisk out of there. You can start mixing with your hand if you want. Alright, and we need to kind of scrape around the edges to make sure that flour gets mixed in there and salt. Yeah. And now it's starting to form a nice dough that you want it to feel kind of like a bread dough if you're familiar with that. Otherwise, you just want it to be sticky, but not where it sticks to your hands or the bowl or anything, because you won't want it to stick to your counters. And it looks like we might need just a little bit of water added to ours. So I have a little water set right here. I'm just going to pour that right on top and kind of knead that in there. Yeah, it gets a little hard to mix at this point too, doesn't it? Alright, now we have a good dough, and you can kind of work it with your hands out of the bowl at this point. Then it is ready to play with. So your kids can play with this at this point, but when you want to store it, you're going to want to store it in a Ziploc bag. And you're going to want to also keep this in the fridge because it's a no-cook version. So it's all ready. Thank you.